Speaking of memes, again,
let's move
perfect
on.
segue. Okay, so Cole Magrath versus Alex Mercer. I don't know. I'm not good with segues.
Yes.
Right, so I
How
will
is it
say,
taking this long for this fight to happen?
yeah,
We've been
that's
waiting
real.
officially 12 years for this fight to happen.
I think a part of
Half
that,
a decade.
honestly, mate.
I'm sorry,
part of that,
half 2 decades.
honestly, mate, a part of that can probably be attributed to the fact of how the infamous system works in game.
Okay,
You don't have a clear-cut way to like do it. At least when the show was in its early days, because Cole versus Alex, like you said, 12 years.
I will. The
12
only
years.
when this episode was announced, I knew jack shit of these guys, even though I literally have both their games on my PlayStation 3 shelf. It's like, I bought these games,
Same.
never played them. They're still in their wrapping.
I've played Infamous 1, completed it. I've played Prototype, need to complete it, and I just started playing Infamous 2.
I will say though, thanks to the lovely Frenchman that is Torok, I watched him play it, and I was like, and I now have a better understanding of Alex Mercer and his powers. And he's going to be streaming Prototype too.
What were you going to say, Brobuscus?
I said I have the Biohazard bundle on PS4 Prototype, so now I have an excuse to play it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Also, can I say, I know it took them 12 years, and I know what Sean just said, how they couldn't have done this back when they were in season 1 or 2, maybe 3, but that's debatable. But they could have done this fight back in season 5 when they were doing this new thing called, we're going to go over the most requested fights everybody has ever wanted, and we're going to put that in a season. And maybe we'll mix one up. You'll get, for one Samurai Jack versus Afro Samurai, you'll get a Carnage versus Lucy. But nowhere was Cole
really
and Alex in that. Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And then of course,
So,
all the special effects and everything, you have to be precise
Yeah,
with it because, oh boy.
I can only apologize in advance to the Viz Post team on this one. Because
yeah.
they're gonna have a field day on this one.
Regrettably, there is one thing I'm not looking forward to about this fight.
Is it Alex's personality? Because after watching Torok play that game, I just got to say this. Alex an edgy dick.
No, it has no, it's
like,
not that.
I went into it thinking, okay, he looks kind of badass. After Torok's playthrough, I'm just like, I don't know what it is, but you remind me of Edgy Bill during secondary school. And I hate Edgy Bill. It's like, anytime he was on, anytime he spoke, anytime Alex spoke, I was like, I hate you. I hate you.
Well, to be fair, Alex's life is kind of garbage.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
So he has a reason to be edgy.
Yeah, everything he does though is like, I must get revenge on these people, what they did to me, while I also get loads of innocent people caught in the crossfire of a zombie outbreak and military, and also during my fight.
Look,
it's like,
man,
you're not an anti-hero. You're just a dick. That's all you are.
Hindsight is 20/20. Well, no, you're gonna hate Prototype 2 then, Bill.
Yeah,
no.
probably.
Prototype.
No, I've seen.
But
I've seen what Alex is like in that, and I got spoiled about this, and spoilers for people. I heard Alex is gonna die in that, and I was just there like, yay!
He actually does die in that. Yes, you're
yeah,
right. But he's also.
Look, the game's like 8 years old. Who cares at this point?
Yeah,
The first one came out actually in 2009.
Yeah,
that was way into the PS3's lifespan. Like, it wasn't even a decade old at that point. But anyway, no, what I'm not looking forward to about this fight is the animation.
Really?
Because it's not going to be animated by Torian, which sucks, because imagine if Torian got his hands on this fight back when he was still with them.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing I've kind of been like with that part. Don't get me wrong, their 3D animations, mwah, they're beautiful. Sauron versus Lich King, just, nerdgasm.
Yeah.
But,
no,
there is that other mind of me. If you go back to watch Torian's fights, you cannot deny they had style. Even in, Wonder Woman versus Thor, yeah, you can clearly see that episode needed a bit more tweaks. Still fun to watch. But
they are.
Torian always struggled with effects
Hulk
anyway.
versus Doomsday.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Hulk vs. Doomsday was good,
Brobuscus
man.
was-
I don't know why people lately have gone back to say that episode's overrated. It's like, I liked Hulk vs. Doomsday.
As somebody who
I don't know where
rewatched that,
I don't know where you're
episode-
looking.
Yeah, no. As somebody who rewatched that episode, it's it's pretty good. It's not great, but it's pretty damn good. That's where I stand.
I do think with the animation, I could definitely see them do what they did with Harley Jinx, where it's both the Blender team and the in-house RT team working on this one.
Yeah, but that would arguably be expensive as crap, and that would take more time. But then again, I think with this fight, you need to take your time.
I have faith in them.
I don't think they'd put this on the ballot if they didn't feel like they could do it.
Yeah, like
I know, but
the reason they actually were talking about, like, when they were making this, they want to pick episodes not just from Champions, but ones that they also feel like they could actually do.
Yeah,
like budget and animation and everything.
I feel like they could...
I just hate how it took the fans to get them to do this. It wasn't them who wanted to do it.
Well,
it took the fans to finally get them to say, all right, we need to do this.
Okay, Richard.
I mean, they teased it back during Season 5 when Carnage vs. Lucy was coming out.
Yeah, and also, Richard, I just have to say, every death battle that's come out, most of the time fans had influence on it. Like...
Yeah, also, I don't think they would. I don't think they would just like up and be like, "Oh, okay, we just have to now." It's like
I'm not saying they have to do this now as in a negative way. I'm just saying I don't like how it finally took the fans themselves to come up and vote with their hard-earned voices to say, "We want this fight. We want this fight." I'm
actually going to disagree with Richard on this. I think Cole versus Alex being selected on the ballot just shows not only how popular this matchup has become, but just shows how big of the fan base who want this matchup has become.
Yeah, and also, Richard, you saying, "Oh, I'm not trying to be negative. I'm not saying this in a negative light. However, let me explain it in a negative light." It's like you're giving me mixed messages here.
What I'm ultimately saying is like, look, I'm happy it's here, and I did say this on the Bros. I did thank the fans because it was because of them that we got this fight. However, that does not mean that I'm not going to just say, "Oh, Death Battle finally decided to do this fight themselves." No, they did put it in. They didn't even put it in the ballot. It came down to the fans working tirelessly and working a hard campaign to finally get this fight happen. So I'm not personally saying Death Battle should be ashamed of themselves for not doing this. I'm just saying.
Hold on.
I wished it would have been done sooner.
Brobuscus was trying to say something. Go ahead.
Sorry.
I was just gonna say I said this when we discussed it, but all you naysayers on Twitter owe a big apology to Hyper.
Yes.
For real.
all the crap he got.
Hold on, I don't know the context. What happened with Hyper?
Okay, go ahead, Brobuscus.
He basically got so he's the one who basically started the whole campaign. Basically, like we gotta get Cole versus Alex on that ballot. And if it gets on the vote for it, it's like he basically was the one that started the whole thing. And I don't know why, but apparently that like annoyed so many people to the point where he kept getting a lot of like hateful messages trying to spread a matchup that he liked. I'm like,
yeah,
I
kind of.
I think I can address this one for something because I actually saw someone tweet a reason why they were disagreeing with Hyper was. Funny enough, this point got debunked on a Fireside chat, but they were saying we should not vote for Cole versus Alex since they said that was going to happen one day. They're talking about, Death Battle apparently at some point said that they were going to do Cole versus Alex one day.
Oh, I think that was during the commentary for Carnage v. Lucy because they had to.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't have to, but they did acknowledge that Alex was another popular request for Carnage.
Yeah, but they knew straight up, like,
Exactly.
but Alex deserves to fight Cole because it's such a popular debate.
I mean,
It is, yes.
I think Hyper should. I'm impressed with how much reach Hyper did because, like, I think almost all of us made a tweet saying that we want Cole versus Alex to be voted. Nemesis Bloodright did one. The G1 prediction blog even made a tweet about it. So I think Hyper's reach is impressive.
Yeah.
He even got. He didn't get, but Red Runner, my boy Red Runner, he made his contribution by creating his own fan animatic of how this fight would play out. And it was so
good, by the way.
Yes, it's very good.
Okay, if you guys can send me that, I'll play it on screen.
Absolutely. So,
let me see if I can find it.
So, Billy, please forgive me for sending you mixed signals. I'm just saying, if I have to thank anybody for getting this fight up in here, finally after 12 years, I'm personally thanking Hyper and all of the people who backed him, because it was them who did it, and I feel so proud of that community. This is what I want. This is what we want, and I'm so happy that I can finally say this fight's happening.
Well,
We can also thank Steve the Elephant, because he was there as well.
God damn it.
Yeah,
I said everybody. How would I not include Steve the Elephant, Billy?
Who could forget about Steve the
Steve's
Elephant?
a big full-ass supporter. How could we forget? But no, I mean, to be fair, you could also think of it as a way of like showing that Death Battle really does listen to their fans, considering how much push it got. Like, yeah. They hear it. They will hear your voice. So you could also look at it that way. But,
I remember when there was this drama years ago. I'm not going to say the name of the YouTuber who was saying like Death Battle like abused their fans and researchers, but then Death Battle just like, how would you guys like to work full time? Completely debunked. Like, people need to stop these weird accusations with Death Battle. They don't listen to fans. They don't do this. It's like, first of all,
get a life.
they have lives,
Look,
and they're trying to do their own passion project, but they do listen to criticism, like, and especially criticism. The show's been improved by criticism by fans.
One of my favorite people saying that Death Battle's run out of ideas.
And I think,
Oh yeah.
and
I remember
and
hearing that a
I
lot.
think that's just because they did listen to criticism. So I concur with Bill on that. They can and have listened to criticism. It's just a matter of,
I'll watch
look,
this later.
you know, they're big. They're a big channel. Stuff like that is always going to float around. Also, how weird is it that we're talking about the impact of this matchup and not about the actual matchup
Well,
with the
to be
characters
honest,
themselves?
we've kind of briefly talked about the characters a lot on our channels anyway, but
That's true.
I'd say who
We're
has the
also
most
talking about
connection
Alex
to this
Miller.
episode? Because I think Sean does.
So, yes.
Yeah, it's probably Sean.
Talk
Okay,
away,
then,
Gas
Sean.
Man.
Infamous is one of my favorite franchises from the PlayStation era. I remember playing it for the first time, and the game was so different because of how it worked. You follow the story of Cole, and based off your actual actions, they can affect your powers. And I
Just
haven't
like
felt something
real
that
life.
since- I haven't felt something like that until I played Dishonored years later, honestly.
Oh, yeah, the game where I didn't
Infamous was
realize I
kind of a
wasn't meant to
precursor.
kill people in that game until the ending. I was like, oh, I fucked up.
Sorry to add something here, but now that Sean just said that, I wonder if Telltale was inspired by Infamous with the choice system in some way.
I wouldn't think so. No, Telltale's choice system and Infamous are very different. Like, Telltale's, in fact,
I
most
know,
of the time
but-
in Telltale games, your choices don't really amount to much. The amount of times you save a guy in one episode,
Well,
he just
no.
dies the next one. It's like, well, there's no point
Not
saving
to
your
mention-
ass.
Well, not to mention also, not only was Cole's story enjoyable, but Cole became a very popular PlayStation character.
Oh
So
yeah,
much
he was
so
big in his
that
days.
He got booked in the PlayStation's All-Star Brawl, which is the PlayStation Smash Bros. Game. He even crossed
got
over
one
with
thing.
Street Fighter and Tekken.
Yes, that is
also-
something that Alex just doesn't have. That level of reach in
Cole got
popularity.
paired up with Raiden, which
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
That actually makes
specifically-
sense.
Specifically, this was good Cole because
Yeah.
PlayStation All-Stars was like, hey, let's put Evil Cole against Fat Princess.
Yeah,
Because, you
so
know, why the
that-
hell not, honestly?
That
Yeah,
again, that was also the
spoiler
same
alert. I
game
think
that was the same game that put Isaac Clarke against Zeus, and he caught in
Yeah.
lightning bolt.
PlayStation All-Stars. Never let it be said that PlayStation All-Stars rival system isn't freaking weird.
Exactly.
So for Cole and Alex, at least.
Oh yeah, and I also
That game needs
just
another
want to
shot.
say it's like, yeah, spoiler alert. It is obvious that good Cole is the canon character. Bad
Yeah.
Cole is just an alternate.
No, I would be very surprised if we got Bad Cole in this.
Well, here's something that
They might
could
compare
do, I think,
powers.
with that.
They might at least compare.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
powers.
maybe, but I don't think we're gonna see Evil Cole.
Well,
Well,
here's
go
what-
ahead.
here's
John
what
has
I'm
insight
thinking.
on that.
What if in the fight it starts out with good Cole, but based off Alex's actions, because we know how Alex is, especially in Prototype 2, he makes bombs out of people for Christ's sakes. Cole slowly goes towards that evil side of Karma, and that's how we get to animate his evil powers.
I would like that.
I would actually like it if, because
nice...
I'm not sure who wins, but if Cole's about to lose in his evil form, you know, he remembers like the good side of him, and he comes back to his like good form. And
debate-wise, if this was just okay, if they specifically let's say if there was an alternate universe where this fight did happen in season 1, back when the franchise, when Death Battle was still new, I would say that Cole would have lost because he only had the one game out at the time. But if they do this now, then Cole does win because I will say they're gonna
have to really convince me if they have Alex win.
Oh, here's the funny thing. Behind the scenes, by the way, me and Torok actually have been going back and forth about this one.
Yeah, because durability-wise.
Oh, I don't want to really touch the debate until the episode finally comes
Alex
out.
survived a nuke. So
barely.
Boom.
Yeah, okay.
Barely,
I was gonna say, correction. He barely survived.
Cole survived a nuke that was bigger, and it's what gave him his powers.
There you go.
Well, also, Cole went up against the Beast, and I would say the Beast is much more dangerous than a single fucking nuke.
I was gonna say, I'm not really gonna touch the actual debate until the actual episode actually happens.
No, I know. I'm just to be on
I
the safe
think,
side.
I think the storytelling that they could do with Cole in his animation could be really sick.
Yeah.
I would like to see a good game of cat and mouse because both these two can have ways to get in close, but they also have great long distance strategies. And spoiler alert, both can glide through the air. So just imagine how cool that would be to just see both of them using their gliding abilities.
The thing about Alex, though, when it comes to his projectiles, it's just picking up shit and throwing it, really.
That counts as a projectile.
Yeah,
so.
whereas Cole can actually generate projectiles, so it's like, I think when it comes to who has the most better projectile, Cole's got it.
Cole also has more variety.
Yeah, I'm just saying that when it comes to their projectiles.
Yeah, he also has ice powers.
He does have ice powers.
Ice, baby, ice.
Ah, damn it, Billy.
Okay, Billy.
Oh, God, stop giving me the cold shoulder when I make a pun.
Jesus.
Thank you, ZDogg. I'm glad to know one person here enjoys it.
This episode was actually one of the episodes I really wanted just because, I think that these two are very differing in how they're written. Alex is definitely the more evil side, whereas Cole, while you do have the option, it is in canon that he uses his powers for good, especially after, spoilers, his girlfriend's death.
Oof.
Oh no. What's her face? I was actually trying to remember the name. I was like, wait, what was her name again? Okay, look, people. If you're mad that I don't like Alex, I'm sorry. He's just not a character that clicks with me. If you like him, you're not wrong for liking him. Just from my experience watching Turok play the game, I couldn't see what people loved about him.
Although, objectively speaking, Alex has the better gameplay mechanics in his game. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, fun fact, the prototype games were made by the same people who made those Incredible Hulk games. So they knew how to do destructive battles.
One Incredible Hulk.
Wait, didn't they do both?
Yeah. No, they only did Ultimate Destruction, and they didn't come back for the movie tie-in in 2008 because they went to work on Prototype 1, and they essentially implemented the engine from Ultimate Destruction into Prototype. Okay. So Alex is literally doing... Yeah, me too. Instead, they got an inexperienced... Marvel got an inexperienced studio who hadn't done that many action games to do...
where have I heard this one before?
Marvel doubling down and trying to get out a game as quick as possible? Or content out? Never heard of it before.
Perish the thought.
I think the only challenge I could definitely see for this is just the voice acting, because both Alex and Cole have had two different voice actors, so there's not one consistent iconic voice.
Really? I didn't know that. What happened to the first voice? Okay, well, what happened to their first voice actors?
I'm not exactly sure, but in Infamous 1, Cole was voiced by Jason Cottle. However, for the rest of Cole's timeline in Infamous 2, Infamous Festival of Blood, and PlayStation All-Stars, he was voiced by Eric Landon.
That's interesting.
Oh, that's very interesting.
Well, I mean, the first voice was kind of gravelly, so I do like how in Infamous 2 and then onward, it's a more light version of that.
Yeah, Alex, like I said, also had 2 different voice actors. He had Barry Pepper in his original game, and in Prototype 2, he was voiced by Daryl Curiel? I don't know how to pronounce the last name.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, like, I'm definitely going to be curious to see how they handle the voice acting for these 2 and what tone they're going to give each of them.
I would imagine they would try and stick as close to the original actors as possible.
Do you know, an interesting thing they could do with the fight, because Alex is a character who doesn't care for casualties during this fight, it would be kind of a nice little, like, balance around where Alex is being so destructive, but Cole is trying to actually get people out of the way during the fight so that they can avoid collateral damage. So kind of giving you that motivation for one of the sides to win.
Yeah. Definitely a hero versus villain type story. One I've been looking forward to for years.
I always do.
We definitely need more of those.
Yeah, I do enjoy the hero versus villains death battles more because it's easier to then choose who you want to root for, but then it also makes it tragic when the hero dies. Like the Hulk beating Doomsday.
Yeah.
Like, as much as I love Doomsday, man, that was sad to see the Hulk die like that. It was tragic. Still awesome.
So I found something. This is on Wikipedia and it doesn't have a source, so you take it with a grain of salt. But okay, so they said Jason Cottle, the original voice actor for Cole, was replaced by Eric Layden as Sucker Punch wanted somebody who could perform Cole's physical reaction to motion capture.
Huh.
Makes sense.
Because apparently the first game didn't have motion capture.
Yeah, the first game mostly relied on the visual effects, especially with all the electricity Cole was wielding.
Well, that makes sense because the first game, like Sean said, came out in 2009. That was, Sean, that was what, 3 years into the PlayStation's 3's lifespan?
I think so. It was fairly new. I remember my uncle actually...
Yeah, no, because the PlayStation 3 came out in 2006 and the Xbox 360 came out in 2005.
Yeah, shocker. Both Infamous and Prototype came out in 2009.
Convenient.
Coincidence? I think not.
Yeah, but
the fact you both made the joke at the same time.
Yeah, but I don't really have much more I will add to this because there is one more fight that we do have to talk about.
Yeah.
So if anyone else wants to take over,